Hey guys, this is John Corabi from the Dead Daisies, and you're listening to Rock On Radio. Turn it up!
Are we on YouTube? Okay, good. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No.
Well, hello everybody to a very special edition of Rock On Radio. For those of you who may be listening to this on Sunday, the 22nd of September, don't worry, because we're actually live on the 11th of September.
We're calling from the future.
That's it. We're heading to Back to the Future. Like, didn't we do this once before where we were in a time warp? Who was I with? It was another guest I did. Anyway, this is Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman. Behind the board tonight, as always, is engineer Art. And producer Claire has come on a weeknight.
Yes.
Yes.
Here I
On
am.
a work
You,
day.
straight
On a
from work,
day,
too.
Straight from work. Yeah.
You look fabulous.
Thank you all.
Fabulous.
I'm wearing black.
Whoa.
Morning because she has to be here.
I know I was.
This is the morning because
it
you
is
have to be here on
September
a
11th.
Wednesday. I know. Rock On Radio is brought to you by CPA Jody Weber, actress Eileen Sullivan, O'Connor's American Bar and Grill of Mount Holly, East Hampton, Monmouth Road. They are actually also known as Route 537 for those shore denizens that patrol that road back and forth. They're the official caterers of the Rock On Radio Christmas Spectacular, which is December 22nd this year, right here from 7 to 10 p.m. on coaradio.com.
Or last year it went to 11.
Yeah, last year we got a little
Carried away. But
Bribery gets you
It was
everywhere.
good.
yeah, apparently. So 7 till question mark.
Whenever.
So like that one went to 11.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to, but
Actually,
it
it
did.
went a little further than that.
It might have. I don't know.
Spinal
I made a lot of eggnog for that
Yes,
show.
to
And who else is our sponsor? Oh,
High tech.
High Tech Electronics,
Mhm.
the man who provides us with the Mark Beiner, who provides us with the safety and sound earbuds. They light up, they're rechargeable, they flash, they dance, they do a lot of things, but you can use them to listen to music and beyond.
Mhm.
We give them away at the Rock On Radio Happy Hours. The next one is October 3rd at the Nottingham Tavern, 9 Mercer Street in Hamilton Square.
And who's performing at night?
Gypsy Mother will be performing that evening. We also have the Custom Candle
Mhm.
Company of
You're
New
doing
York
very well. Keep going.
and CBD Live Natural. They do both. They sell candles and CBD oil.
It's
So
like he remembered the CBD.
check them out. I do.
Don't mix them up.
Gypsy Mother.
Gypsy
Mhm.
Mother. Yes.
It's like that's what I say when I stub my toe.
Something like that.
Gypsy Mother with another word following it, I suppose.
You never know. You just have to find out.
Darn tinkers. No. What else is there? That's what they call gypsies in Ireland.
Yes.
Tinkers. What else? Who else? Who am I? Oh, Zen Archer Hot Sauce. We are the only radio program sponsored by a Grammy Award-winning hot sauce maker
That's right. Johnny Autoclass.
because it's only natural. And
It is.
Johnny's Autoglass. That's
Mhm.
right. Our good friend Johnny Alberici. Speaking of good friends, how cool is that Rick Winnow will be opening up for Pure Prairie League
No.
that they asked him? That's pretty cool.
I can't make it. I love Pure Prairie League.
He was a little nervous that nobody had heard of Pure Prairie League. So when he texted me, guess what? I'm opening for Pure Prairie League. They did a song you might remember called Amy. And I'm like, oh, shit.
My sister's name is Amy. We sing it all the
I
time.
like Pure Prairie League.
I love
Right?
it.
40 years ago.
Winnow was on his 5th marriage by that time,
Yeah,
40 years ago.
25th
I think.
kid.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so, right?
exactly.
Anyway, if you want to follow us tonight, you can always do so at our website, which is what?
www.dcror.com.
That's the quick link.
That's right.
Or Danny Coleman's RockOnRadio.com.
If you really like to type.
We never put the
I
banner
know
up.
that's what made me stop and say, "Do you want me to put it over?" I can open it up.
We never put the banner up. Facebook, facebook.com/Danny Coleman's Rock On Radio 2, the number 2. Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat are all at Rock On Radio, all one word, all capital letters. So you can check us out at any of those things. If you do, leave me a message, click a like button, do something so I know you were there.
You can also search COA Radio on your favorite app store.
Yes.
That's
the
right.
next
We
one.
have a new app.
Yep.
Right, Art?
Yep, we do.
I shared that.
Apple and
Android.
Android. Yep.
And
Yep.
for Android. So you can listen to COA Radio no matter where you go. And if you wish to be a sponsor of this program, just make a donation to City of Angels, cityofangelsnj.org. Just make sure you notate somewhere in the sponsorship that you heard about it on Rock On Radio, and I will make you an advertiser for 30 days, which means you get 4 live broadcasts and 7 times 4 is 28 replays. So at least 28. You replay them more than once. So maybe,
Yes,
I don't know,
maybe.
30 replays. I don't know. Pick a number, Pete.
45.
45 replays, says Pete. And that's what you'll get if you sponsor by donating
Seat
to
number 45.
donating to City of Angels. Now, tonight is a very special show because our good friend, Mr. Brian Eric, is here with Pete Stern,
Woo-hoo.
and they have formed. They are 2/4, otherwise known as 1/2 of a new band called The Extensions. Yeah! Hello, men.
What's happened extension?
Oh goodness, I don't know. I don't really do math,
Well,
so I don't know. What's 1/2? I eat and myself.
Yes,
that's
nice.
1/2, I suppose.
I think.
Who's the other half?
So there's Kevin Newcomb plays the bass and Lisa Lovell plays keys.
That leaves you as the drummer,
That
Pete.
would be me. I'm drumming.
Very cool. So, Brian, tell us. Now, you told me when
Yeah.
we talked last week, but tell us about the formation of the extensions because you went at it in a very unique way.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I think I was on this show not that long ago, probably around December or November, like around November. I think it was November of last year, promoting my now former band, the Paper Jets. But while that was happening, we put a record out last December. While that was happening, though, Pete, myself, and Kevin, and then eventually Lisa joined too. We're sort of starting the new project while the old one was kind of on its way out.
Disintegrating.
I mean, not disintegrating,
Decomposing
but
like me.
No, well, I mean, we're all kind of making the slow march, but all having the but all. Honestly, I meant that to try to be funny, but no, yeah. I mean, we're all kind of. What's the good expression I heard? I was listening to a podcast with Pam Flores, another great local singer-songwriter.
I wanted to keep her
And
when she came in here.
She's great.
She's so cute.
She had a really good expression. She said, "We're all just walking each other home."
Hmm.
So maybe
That's
that's a good. So as we all continue to walk each other home, not disintegrate, Danny, but as we all continue to walk each other home, yeah. As the Paper Jets were sort of walking themselves home, I suppose. We sort of decided that it'd be a good idea to start something new. Kind of before the old thing necessarily ends. So we were able to sort of get a nice smooth crossfade from one to the other. And at that point, when we started this, it was around February of 2016, I think, right? Our first practices.
Maybe 2017.
Oh, did I say what 20? When did I say it?
16.
Oh no, yeah. It was 18. It was February of 18. Wow, 2016.
No, wait a minute.
It was
No,
February 2018.
That was our first show, but we didn't practice. Like we practiced before that.
me and Kevin.
Right.
February 2018.
Are you sure?
Positive. Maybe January, but it was beginning of 2018.
That's
But-
how well it's going. I don't even remember.
Yeah, but I guess the point is, because Kevin's band broke up at the end of 2017, Fun While You Wait. So we said, all right, well, we don't want to sit too long because he's like a really talented bassist. And we said, let's get him on board before he inevitably joins somebody else. Rose Boulevard, one of your other projects, had kind of just split. So you found yourself a little more time.
Yep.
And I kind of said, all right, guys, basically a year from now, I should be more freed up also. So we can, we'll figure it out. And then Lisa, we just made a post like, hey, anybody want to play keys? And Lisa just jumped right in. Like, yeah, I'll do it.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, because you with the with the Paper Jets, you put out a CD.
Yep.
And then like the next day the band went their separate ways. We're done. You know?
Pretty much.
So you had this, and you were telling me that you like the smooth transition as
Yep.
opposed to taking time off. You wanted to strike while the iron was hot, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, and we were playing extensions shows. Like I'd play with the Paper Jets, and then 2 weeks later, play with the extensions. And at one point, both bands were getting, offers like, hey, either the Paper Jets or the extensions, doesn't matter which one, just can somebody come play this? And it's like, and that sort of turned into opportunities for us because the Paper Jets were sort of winding down, so we weren't really taking a lot of weren't taking on new work. We were just like, all right, well, we got what we got, and that sort of opened the door for us to kind of make a footprint.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to add to
Yes,
that.
I concur. I agree. So, whose idea was it to form this band? Yours, or
It was kind of Pete's a little bit.
I think it was because I did an episode of your podcast.
Yeah, which Danny had been on. We
yes.
did Led Zeppelin, the fourth Led Zeppelin record with Danny.
A fine
which, by the
podcast
way,
it is.
we have continued to receive compliments on that episode.
Oh, really?
I mean, people
Nice.
love the record, but also they love the perspective of, somebody who, because obviously, like Bill and I are a little bit, just a smidge younger. But
Oh, he's so diplomatic.
we had, but but the listeners, but what it is that because we got a lot of criticism for like, oh, well, you talked about, Bill and I by ourselves talked about the Fleetwood Mac or AC/DC or something. They're like, well, you weren't around when that came out. So for you to come in and say, yeah, I waited. I couldn't wait for that Led Zeppelin record to come out. A lot of our listeners were like, that's awesome. That put us, if it was somebody, kind of that time, they were like, yeah, that put me back there, what it was like waiting for that record to come out. And so it was just I'm saying high compliments
Mhm.
to you from our audience to you.
There was actually, and I can't remember the name of the band right now, or the guy, but he was on one of these shows, either The Voice or American Idol or whatever, and he was in one of the top 10 finishers. Because of that podcast, reached out to me. He lives out in Denver,
Oh, get out of here.
and his band, he's put together. His band is actually really good. Dream something. I can't remember what the name of it. Anyway,
Find out who this guy is.
but there, and he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, I heard you on the greatest or great albums podcast, and you did Led Zeppelin 4, and he was very complimentary of the entire show. The three of us, and,
the whole operation.
the whole
the
operation.
whole mess.
and then he asked me to review their disc.
That's right.
Oh, that's the one you did, right?
Yeah, it's the one I reviewed.
Nice.
Yeah, and it wound up. I'm like, all right, who is this guy? I never heard of him. And then he sends me the disc. I'm like, oh shoot, that's this guy. Surprise. So Pete.
So Pete was a guest.
Yeah. So I
All
was a
that to
guest
say
on-
Pete was a guest.
So then we were, friends after that more so than before. Like we knew each other before I did that, but then after that, it's like, okay, we're friends now. And like Brian said, I had a band, Rose Boulevard, who broke up early 2017. I want to say, and so then after that, I was like, I need something to do now. So I don't know. We just kind of started saying like, why don't we do a band? I didn't know Paper Jets were ending, but I
didn't know Paper Jets were ending either at the time.
Yeah, that came out later, but
In the tabloids.
Well, we kept it kind of ambiguous, like right up until the night of. Like we were always like, oh yeah, it might be, it might not be. But at this point, it probably is, because we had a chance to play like kind of a surprise show over the summer, and there wasn't, we're not calling anyone out. It was just there was just kind of like muted interest. At
Was that
best.
Macon's thing?
No, it wasn't making.
Oh, that wasn't the one at the Asbury Park Brewery?
No, we played that one. That
I
was
know,
last
yeah.
year.
Yeah.
No, this was back this past July.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we played the brewery thing back in 18.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
No, this was just a few months ago. And I ended up playing by myself. But I said, yeah, maybe we'll bill it as a solo thing. And then like, what have you, but they were like, no, we're not going to do that. So it ended up, and then I think we weren't available either for it.
I don't even remember.
I think I may have then been like, I think I asked us, and I think somebody wasn't around. So I ended up playing by myself. But I
Once
guess
or twice.
the point is, yeah, it doesn't happen often. But I guess the point is, like, we had a chance to kind of do like sort of a surprise type of situation, and it was like, nah, no thanks. Like I was like, all right, then that'll be it, and not in like a mean way or anything. Just like, okay, well, that's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, move on. That's all right. If you're just tuning in, this is Rock On Radio. I am Danny Coleman, and our guests tonight are Brian and Pete from the Extensions. If you want to give us a call, you can do so at 609-241-7103. And questions, comments will all be directed. Again, this show is live on Wednesday, 9/11. So if you're rehearing this or it's rebroadcast, which will be at a later date, do not call. Art, we always come in and Art's like, we had a few people call during the re-air. Because you can look at the phone and see the numbers that were called. All right, so now, how did you said Kevin and Lisa were kind of, what band was Kevin in before?
He was in Fun While You Wait.
Oh, with you.
No, I wasn't in Fun While You Wait. I was in Rose Boulevard.
Okay.
But-
Didn't you say he was in Fun While You Wait?
No, Kevin was in Fun While You Wait, and that band broke up at the end of 2017.
Right.
Devin, Devin,
Yes,
Devin,
yes.
Alana.
Mhm.
It was her and Kevin were Fun While You Wait.
Okay.
There's a theme in our band of other bands breaking up first.
Basically, that's how it happened.
And who did Lisa play with?
She plays with Dave Mooney and Viewers Like You.
Okay.
And I believe she's going to be, amiably leaving that project after our release show. Dave is also we're playing that show together. So she's kind of doing double duty that night. I think that's going to be her last set with Dave.
Okay. Isn't it funny how I can't remember who it was I was telling because I am much older than you.
I mean, 3 years is much.
Dog years. So if you that when I was a young musician, bands did not share.
Yeah.
Bands did not say, hey, we got a gig, I'm going to ask, Pete to play with us tonight. If that was the case, the band would have been like, Pete, you play with them, man. We're done. You're out. Go. That's your new band. Get out. Bands would go see other bands.
More Magic and Bird than
correct.
LeBron James and Dwayne Wade.
And bands, right. And bands would go see other bands, and they would just kind of stand there, looking like some gangster rappers, at each other, and there was no like, yeah, great set, man. That was it. Now bands are all interchangeable.
Yeah.
And it's kind of neat because that, if you're not gigging that night, why shouldn't you be able to go pick up a gig somewhere else?
I do.
I
I play drums for Matt Cook when he's doing full band shows.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Matt was just in here,
Yeah, he was.
2 weeks ago? 3 weeks
Oh,
ago?
yeah, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
He didn't invite me.
No?
Uh-oh.
I never liked him.
Well, considering I'm the one that got him on the show.
That's right. Nah,
It was mine.
Matt was very cool.
Matt's been
very
Matt's a good guy, and he's been a really great friend over the years too.
nice.
Yes.
I just remembered another sponsor.
Oh, yes.
Deuce Music.
That's right.
Deuce Music Management
8 o'clock.
of the United Kingdom. Around 8 o'clock, we're going to have the Deuce Music Minute. Tonight's featured artist will be the Innocent Bystanders, a band out of San Diego.
Nice.
So stay tuned for that. There will be no Dave the Rave's rock and roll review, though, because this is an off night. So
Right.
we gave Dave the night off. How's that?
You're very nice.
Beautiful.
You didn't give me the night off.
Well, it's been said.
We're all right.
Why don't we do some music?
Okay.
Yeah, you have a new. You're releasing. The whole reason you're here is because the Extensions are releasing their first EP, right? 6 songs.
Yep.
6-song EP on September 20th at Asbury Lanes.
You got it.
Nice.
Tell us about it. And then we'll do some music.
What do you think, Todd? You want to do like you get something queued up?
I don't know.
Or
Do
you
we have
want us
something
to
queued
do
up?
something live?
We can do either. We can play live. We can tell me what you want to play.
Let's flip a coin.
You know, it would be.
You know, the guests are in charge.
I mean, it would be good to play "Hollowed Out." I think it's the first single from the EP, and
Okay.
the first song that we worked on at all. I think like Brian sent me a bunch of iPhone recordings right at the beginning, and that was the first one I picked out.
He
where
was
I was
just like that one.
Yeah. I was like, whatever else happens, we're doing this one.
Yeah, the sort of like emotional puppy mill of my songwriting.
Emotional puppy.
Pete was just like that one. I'll take that one.
Wow.
Like, all right.
Yeah, now, what is the
Aw.
title of this EP?
Bellicose.
Bellicose.
It's a cool word.
Bellicose. Yeah, just you said it very, very fancifully, but yeah,
You did.
That's a fancy word.
well, you were bellicose in your pronunciation of our EP title.
Yes.
It'd be funny if we didn't say what it means either.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
look it
people
up.
can-
If,
yeah,
look it up
that's
if
what
you want to
Google's
know.
for.
Google it.
Exactly. But how do they pronounce it? They don't. They have
It's
two
just
different
it's
ways.
just bellicose
I
or
know.
bellicose, whatever. It's
Put
potato.
that little
top.
thing over the E.
You tell them, Thurston. All right. So, what are you going to perform for us? Where are we going to go? We're going to go off the disc.
Let's go off the disc. 'Cause
Okay.
That's the first single. Get us the studio version of that.
All right. So, if you are just tuning in once again, this is Rock On Radio. Special night, special band, special release party this coming, or not this coming, but the following Friday, September the 20th at Asbury Lanes for the Extensions. And this is the first single to be released. Has this been on the air yet?
It has.
Oh, so it's not
Sorry.
a world premiere.
Well, we kind of did. It was like a little mini premiere on Brookdale a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
So
what's
this
who?
is-
Which show?
Megan.
Oh, with Megan? Oh, nice. Okay. Well, this is from their EP called. Go ahead, Pete. You say it because you say it like all proper and stuff.
Bellicose.
Bellicose.
Nice.
It's a song called
Hollowed Out.
Always read the writing, never much for time, babe. Always read the relay, when I made it someday. There's nowhere left to go. Get it out, I'm on to that somehow. Get it out, get it out. Get it out, I'm on to that somehow. Get it out, get it out.
The Extensions here on Rock On Radio as they prep for their new CD release and party at the Asbury Lanes. Is anybody on that bill with you, or is it just you solo?
Oh no. That's a big night for us. That's in addition to the release of our EP. Shout out to Mint 400 Records for putting that out for us. The 3143 Artist Management, who also helps us out with stuff, who booked that night for us and has been helping coordinate some of some of these articles that have been being shared out and things like that. They are putting together an artist compilation, so that song's gonna be on there. But Deirdre Forrest and the Back Seams, the Mercury Brothers, Arlen Phyllis and the Broken Hearted, and Dave Mooney and Viewers Like You. Those are the other 4 acts on the night at the Lanes. And obviously those 4 will also be on the 3143 compilation.
Nice.
And, among several other artists as well.
Okay. So, Mint Records.
Yep.
Paper Jets on there too, or no?
Nope.
They were on.
They were, we just kind of, 3143 kind of picked up the last Paper Jets record.
Okay. I couldn't remember who it was.
Yeah, so they're not really like a label so much as they are kind of a management company, but they helped us distribute the record. They sort of picked it up like last minute and figured, we kind of give them a shot with this one, and they've been kind of helping, as I said, sort of, you and I hooked up directly for this, but they've kind of helped coordinate some of, some of the junket, I guess.
Yeah.
If you want to call it that, right? I would call this a junket. Because before the release, we're gonna have like a dozen or so of these interviews under our belts.
Brian's been killing it with the promotion.
You know what it really is? It's like if you tag Asbury Lanes in there, they know you're doing the work. Like, so I guess that's the idea, right? You want to let the people who are having you know that you're working put butts in seats, right?
That's the idea. I mean, if you don't do it, who will?
Yeah, literally nobody.
No one.
Correct.
No matter what label you got, no matter who's helping you manage your stuff, like they're not going to do it for you. They'll help you if you say, "Hey, I want to do this." They'll say, "Okay," and I'll say, "Well, can you send, can you email this person? Can you email that person? Can you do that?" And they'll do it. But it's, if you don't say anything, they're not going to be like, "Hey, you should," plus we're not like a project band. Like we don't need that type of guidance. I don't think we're
veteran musicians.
I think it's more like, okay, they're waiting to be, okay, this is what we need. Management and label. So,
we're telling them what we need. They're not telling us
what they think we need. Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, they'll say like, "Oh yeah, well, we can do this for you, but what about, this or that or what?" And then, we'll either do it or not do it. But it's not, we're not 19. We kind of know.
But even that,
for.
If that doesn't show you right there that what you just said, if that doesn't show you the state of disarray that the record companies and music industry is in, I mean, that's just perfect, because whereas years ago A&R departments handled all that stuff for you, and they gave you a budget, and they gave you this.
Nobody has any money, so it's like nobody's got So
I don't think they want to discover anything new.
So, well, I would argue with that. I think both Mint and 3143, like they're both pretty, both.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about major record labels.
Oh yeah.
I
mean, that's.
I don't think you would find anybody like Neil, who runs Mint 400 Records, working in the record industry. which is sad for the record industry because he does everything the right way. I think he really like lets us do what we want to do, and it's kind of how can I support that?
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. And I mean, he has,
Well, that's
you know,
like
when
Jeff,
he was,
too.
yeah,
Jeff
and when-
Fiedler, the same way. Aqualung.
yeah,
It's all about the artist. It's not, you know.
And when he
Go ahead,
was,
I'm sorry.
oh no, I was going to say when Neil was coming up, you know, when Neil was like 19, he, you know, that's how he made his fortune and was able to start Mint 400 Records. You know, because he was, he kind of had a little bit of he was in a band that, you know, kind of was on its way up, and then eventually, you know, parties all separated, but he kind of had an idea of what, you know, he sort of had a taste of what the biz was like, and based on that sort of said, yeah, okay, I see what it's like. I'm going to run it a different way, based on my experiences. And it has come to be this sort of very artist friendly way, though. You know, I think we're kind of lucky. A lot of those bands, I mean, he'll take a band that, you know, if he brings a band in that he thinks needs work, like he'll devote time to it also.
But it's what they need is the thing. If they need help, he'll help them. But like he won't say, here's what you have to do to every band. You know what I mean? Like in our case is a little different. We're kind of just like, we're doing our thing, but we could definitely use the backing and support and promotion and all that. And so he can do that. But everything else, he kind of just leaves us to our own devices.
Years ago, when I was a UPS driver, one of my stops was the Arena in Trenton.
Oh yeah, that's changed
And-
names like 1,000 times.
Yeah, it was the
I
Sovereign
remember
Bank
back
Arena
when it was the SBA. Yeah,
in Trenton back then, you know. So, but through this, I became very friendly with the hockey team in the office because I used to take the
Titans.
equipment right down there, right, the Titans. It was great. I'd drop my ice skates off at like 9 o'clock in the morning, pick them up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, with an edge that could cut a cow in half. But I became friendly with the coach. And at one point, the Titans had a coach, I think it was Troy Flynn was his name. I don't know. He was the assistant with the Pittsburgh Penguins. When the Penguins had Mario Lemieux and
Jaromir
Jaromir Jagr.
the
and-
golden days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked at him and I said, tell me something. If you look at a guy like Mario Lemieux or Jaromir Jagr and you tell them this is what you need to do to be better, I said, how is that possible? You know, do they laugh at you? Like, yeah, all right, whatever. He said, at that level, with players like that, it's all ego management. You really can't teach them anything. You can't train them anything. It's ego management. So my question, in a roundabout way, is if a record company came to you after you guys, you know, we've been through it, you've been through it, I've been through it for over 40 years. You know, what do you do when a record company comes to you and says, well, look, if you want to be successful, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to morph. This is, at that point, you almost want to just look at them and say, you know, and walk away.
I mean, that honestly would probably be what I would say, to tell you the truth. Like at this point, I honestly don't think they know what they're doing anymore. I don't think they've adapted to the way music works now.
Because they're
So-
in disarray, like I
yeah.
said earlier.
So yeah, I know it sounds easy to say since it's not something that's actually happening, but I don't think that there's anything they would say that I would be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I just want to be successful.
I would respectfully disagree with that, dependent upon the work that the label did. You know, if it's I'm not trying to be contrarian, but if it's say it's like Sub Pop, even right now, not, you know, because people say Sub Pop, oh yeah, Nirvana, but no, Sub Pop, like Father John Misty, who is, you know, a current artist that makes records that still sell in at least, you know, in the six figures, you know, hundreds of thousands of copies. It's not like it used to be where it'd be, you know, maybe 250,000 on an indie label was worth, you know, a couple million if you were on a major, but if like a Sub Pop or a Matador or a Merge or something like that took Spoon from like a major label reject and produced hits and gold records for them, came to us or a band of our ilk and said, this is what we think you need, I think at that point I might be like, hey Pete, let's huddle over there for a second.
That's
and
not
maybe think about it.
That's not what I was picturing when he said record label, though.
No, I know. I think we're thinking
They
of
have
like,
a very indie kind of mentality. I'm thinking like
men in suits,
like Columbia, Sony, like you don't know. But like if Sub Pop obviously knows what they're doing, and they're also very good to their artists, I hear. So
yeah, and I think that's the thing is there's a level of discernment now that I think anybody that is venturing out needs to have. Like maybe the goal isn't, especially for an artist that makes music with guitars, maybe it's not, the goal shouldn't be like universal. It should be, like I said before, like Matador or Beggar's Banquet Records or something like that.
Barsuk.
Yeah, something like
They're
that.
still around, right?
Yeah, I think so. But you know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be the like you almost want to be like a quadruple A sort of player, where you kind of get the freedom, but then you still get to tour around and play big festivals and things like that. Yeah, I think just that level of discernment.
Donovan Frankenreiter.
Yeah, kind of. Although, I mean, he's got major label backing. That's just an indie label in name only. I think they're backed by Universal, whatever that is, like Brushfire Records or
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember who he was.
I think Death Cab for Cutie would be like the ideal situation.
Well, they're on Atlantic.
They're on
for a
Atlantic.
decade.
Yeah, but they have like the right amount of success, I think, where
Yeah,
They
they got gold records.
they still basically have their indie cred, but they can also still sell out festivals, and
yeah.
they didn't go too high, so they don't crash.
Well,
That's
they kept
a-
perspective, I suppose.
That's a knife's edge though, and not a lot of bands get that either. Like you don't get very many of those. For every one of those, or every one, Strokes or something, there's like 10,000. There's like 10,000.
Epic fails.
Jonathan Fire Eaters or Mooney Suzuki's or something out there that just never quite caught on.
So how do you guys keep the perspective there?
Well, I mean, it's easy because we're not on one of those labels, so we don't really need to, we don't really need to think of that.
It's yeah. I mean, also our that's basically it. Our goals are. I don't think our goal is let's be this huge successful thing stated that plainly. It's like what we want. Our goal is to write the best music we can, play the best shows we can, and focus on that. And whatever success comes out of that is kind of a reward, but the success is not the goal. To me anyway, being in a good band is the goal. And if the success happens, then great.
I'm not sure I've ever heard anybody say success is not my goal.
I don't mean failure
I
is
think-
the goal, but like,
Well, I think it's just about how you define your success. And haven't we? I think
We've
talked
recently
about
talked
this,
about that a lot.
where I think we talked when you came on when you came back on One More. I think we talked about
success
that a
can
little
be
bit
defined in many
in many different
Ways,
by
yeah.
many different shades. And yeah, I think if we play our Lane show and a lot of people come and buy the record and seem to enjoy what we're doing, well, I would call that a successful show.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, success is like something you can build off of. Like I don't like the idea of saying this is the end game. It's like a slow and steady process.
Right.
Yeah, I would like to be in a successful band by measure of what somebody that doesn't play music might think a successful band could be. But I think, to your point, Pete, there is a difference between making that your goal versus, like, when you get a job that you really enjoy, your goal is to do a good job Whereas if you get a job that you don't, then it's like, all right, I'm just going to kind of make some money, make as much money as I can, and then, go home and not even think about it. So I think this is more like the first, where it's, we're going to enjoy this as much as we can. And like, oh, hey, we're doing this other, we get there's like a reward system in there that we've defined for ourselves that makes it a motivating process also.
Right.
That is what I meant to say.
Correct. He speaks Pete. Well, let's play another tune then. What do you think?
Sure.
We'll let you guys debate it.
What do you think?
609-241-7103. If you want to give us a call this evening here on this very special edition of Rock On Radio with Pete and Brian from The Extensions.
With Fake the Rest. Let's do that one. I
Fake
like that
the
one.
Rest. Okay. All right, you like that one.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's a
I
jam.
think that's probably my favorite on the record.
Not mine, but it's a jam.
Okay. Boy, Pete, I'm not sure what to think here, man. It's not your favorite song. You don't want to have success.
I love all of them.
Am I the only one feeling this?
No, I mean the song. It's like your kids.
Low expectations. When it all happens, we'll be like, yeah.
They're each special in their own right.
It's
No
like your kids.
expectations.
No, I was gonna say it's like your kids. You have a favorite.
No.
I mean,
Don't.
I listen to this in my car all the time. It's not like I don't like it.
I know that.
I get angry at both my kids equally. It does not matter. All right, so this is Rock On Radio. These are The Extensions, and this is their song called
Fake
Fake the rest.
I guess I really didn't want to say. Suppose I thought I could just give it to me anyway. You think trust is not my specialty. When I can barely see it coming in front of me. You let me go. I hope to show. Cause you can keep it, but you can't keep me away from you. Mistakes I made, I say they are the past. You say you love it, then you go ahead and take a rest. You let me go, I hope to show. A little you think I You let me go, I'll show. A little you think
We go. The Extensions here on Rock On Radio. Big release party September the 20th at Asbury Lanes with a devastating lineup. I was laughing. You said Deirdre in the backseat. It cracked me up. She's got that. She's got that whole.
Well, that's her whole
her whole
persona,
shtick,
that,
yeah.
the pinup style,
The pinup
and
style
everything
thing,
that.
yeah.
I'm so excited for that. I heard the song that's going on the compilation, and it is wonderful. Good
She's
to
got a
finally hear
great
some
voice.
new music from her.
Yeah.
First new music from Deirdre in like half a decade.
She's had,
almost.
yeah.
So it's it's about time, D.
Well, she's had a unique journey. First with
Indeed, yeah.
with her uncle and oh my God, drawing a blank on the name of the band.
May Darlings, the May
No,
Darlings.
before the May Darlings with Michael, with her uncle.
Oh, the Irish band.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's going to drive me crazy now. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name. They were on my show like 3 times. That's where she
The Irish,
belted
was
some,
it? Oh, I know what band.
with Tom
was that,
Johnson.
Was that U2? That Irish band?
You too?
Yes,
that
she was in you too.
I thought she was. I thought that's.
Yes.
I thought so.
I was
I was
in
like,
there too.
You were in
Irish.
you too. You
Yeah,
too.
I was Bozo,
The clown.
not Bono.
I believe it.
Yeah, she's
Well-
in that little Irish band.
Guys,
Oh, the wee little Irish
I
band.
can't believe I'm drawing a blank on that.
What's his name?
Tom Johnson.
All right, well, I'll look it up for you then.
That's her Uncle Tom, and they were in that, and they kind of went their separate ways, and then her and Michael did their thing, and
Yeah.
the May Darlings, and they were
For a couple
incredible.
of
They
years,
were
yeah.
incredible in that.
Harmony is
And then
great.
she's kind of been in limbo.
Well,
you
figuring
know,
it
so-
out, I think she's been kind of figuring out the new direction. She was trying a couple of different things, and I think she finally landed on something that she's satisfied with. Because I think with each passing year that you don't put anything out, you sort of increase the level of pressure. Which sorry, Pete, secret. That's why I wanted to get something out quickly. Because the Paper Jets took like 4 years between our EP and the record, and it's like it put a lot of undue pressure on us to make sure the record was decent.
I think we
This
can say
way,
that.
I'm like, well, 9 months. I'm like, it didn't have to be that good. Sorry, you just looked at me like, wait, what? Are you serious? No, of course I'm not serious. Of course it had to be good. But
Well-
it just the idea of saying, well, we came from a bunch of bands that split up, and then we waited 3 years to put something out.
Right.
It's there might be an unreasonable expectation, like, oh yeah, these people from all these other bands just gestating ideas and stuff. It's like, no, we wrote 7 songs, and the 6 of them ended up on this thing.
No, see, I thought you were talking about the plan for what's happening after this EP.
Oh yeah, well the next
Because
the
we were-
next thing is gonna just whip
We
real
were
hard.
shooting to not have too long of a wait between this EP and
The next record.
and the next
Well,
record.
only,
I'd say like a year. And that's gonna mean. By the way, that's gonna mean like 3 years.
only because
But I hope a year.
we've discussed this. You and I, Brian, have discussed this before. You figure Led Zeppelin hurried up and recorded Led Zeppelin 1 in like 36 hours.
Yeah.
Right. So they put out this blues-driven, remakes and kicks and thievery of old blues tunes, and
Yep.
becomes Led Zeppelin 1. And it's like, wow, who are these guys?
Yep.
So Atlantic Records puts the pressure on them, and like 6 months later, Led Zeppelin 2 came out.
Which is even better. Wow.
And then in 1970, Led Zeppelin 3 came out.
Yeah.
Then they got the breather, and in 72, Led Zeppelin 72, 73, whatever it was, Led Zeppelin 4 came out.
72, because 73 was Houses of Holy.
Right, but
And
they would
then-
pressure them to do it. And then Houses of the Holy was their last one on Atlantic.
Oh, and then they
And
did
then
their
they started
own.
their own label.
I mean, I think it was still Atlantic kind of backing it, but yeah, Swan
Swan
was
Song,
their
right.
vanity label.
But they were under pressure to continue to, put out discs. I mean,
And
it
they
worked
did.
then.
I mean, they get hits on every single one of those records.
Correct. So now you were saying, Pete, while that song was playing, that you didn't use a click track on that.
Right. that is the thing I do love the most about that song is when we retracked some of the drums and there was, I guess, some kind of production issue. We couldn't find the click track.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I kind of admire the drummers of old who used to record without them.
This is Pete's like, this ain't my first rodeo, fellas.
Yeah, exactly.
Did he say it like that?
Just like that.
Exactly
Okay.
like that.
Rep and all.
Wanted to double check
Yeah.
because we heard him say Benacos. So
Yeah. So yeah, I typically will use a click track, but just sort of so it's in my head, not to strictly follow it. But this time I thought it would be cool to, you know, since we out of necessity, but it also kind of worked out kind of nice to record the drums without a click track. And I got the drums to that one in one take. So I'm really proud of that. I think it came out really good for one take without a click.
well, one of the things, and I've told this story on this program before, but it's one that I always enjoyed telling. A fellow by the name of Bill Kirchen. Bill Kirchen was in Commander Cody's Lost Airmen, and his most famous, or the most famous tune that they did was his version of Hot Rod Lincoln.
Mhm.
I don't know if, you know, that might be one you have to look up. Hold on. Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who's this?
Oh, this is a piece of hut.
Hey Neo, what's up?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good, man. How are you? Good to hear from you.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's good to be here from. I had a pretty rough week last week, but last weekend was great, so I'm doing pretty good now.
Good. I'm glad. Thanks
Excellent.
for calling in, man.
So you have something you want to say
So-
to them, Neil?
Is
Oh,
this
Neo,
a radio
Neo,
show?
Oh, Neil.
Neo. Yeah, Antonio. Short for Antonio.
Oh, okay. Antonio. There you go. Thought you said Neil.
Yeah,
Sorry about
yeah.
Oh, yeah, no,
And
Neo.
All right,
I'm
Neil.
Italian, I'm Puerto Rican.
that. Okay. Close enough. So what?
So yeah, Neo, you're on the air, man. What do you got for us? Nothing super inappropriate.
Oh, well, I want to hear some extensions, man.
All right. Well, I mean, we've been keep on, man. We've been playing it.
I was going to say, must just be tuning in. You just tuning in, Neil?
I'm actually not tuning in. I'm getting ready to do some food shopping, but I saw these posts, so I'm like, yeah, I'm always up for some harassment.
So, all right, Neo, then what you need to do is download the City of Angels app. Go into your app store and download COA Radio, and then you can listen to the extensions while you're food shopping. And it hardly
Right.
uses any data.
Oh, okay, cool.
See? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, you know what, B? When you get a break, text me the link, okay?
I will.
There you go. All right.
All right, cool.
All right, Neo.
And,
Thank you, buddy.
I'll talk to you later, B, about the show next weekend.
Sounds good, brother.
There you go.
Take it easy, man. Thanks for calling.
Rock on.
All right, cool, man.
Bye.
Bye.
So anyway, Bill
Nice.
Kirchen said he refuses, when he records his albums today, refuses to allow his musicians to use a click track. He said, because music is feeling, and I want to know what that guy is feeling at that moment. Said, when I go out on stage, we don't have click tracks.
True.
You know what? It doesn't matter what it's going to be in the studio. It's going to either speed up or slow down. I want to know what that guy is feeling. Be it the drummer, the bass player, the guitar player. I want to know what
Yeah.
he's feeling. And I like it. I like that.
I like the mindset too. And I mean, there are mistakes still in there that we left in. We weren't, you know, perfectionists about it. You can, or I can hear myself mess up 2 or 3 times, but
I could definitely hear Pete mess up 2 or 3 times.
I was waiting on that.
I know that's a cheap joke. Even in that last song we played, though, that's the little solo in between the verses. There's like a weird, there's kind of like a little thud on the strings. I can hear it all the time. I'm like, yep, there it is. But we just kind of, you just leave that in because nobody else knows.
There's another guy, Don Brewer, the drummer from Grand Funk Railroad. That's
Yeah.
what he told me one time. He says, you know, I listen to our old albums and I hear mistakes. He said, I think that's what's wrong with music today. There's not enough mistakes.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris Cologne from Levy and the Oaks.
Yeah.
Because for any of those who are catching this on the re-air or the rerun on the 22nd, you can see me again at the Lanes on the 28th, where I'll be playing Abbey Road from top to bottom with Chris and a whole bunch of other Asbury sort of all-star players. But
Nice.
so the point being, we're sitting there after rehearsal talking about this, and he goes, "Yeah, he plays in a Beatles tribute band as like part of his living, and so he has all the tracks, like just the guitar track isolated, just the drums isolated." And he goes, "Yeah, you'd be amazed that, you think like kind of the warbly sound is some effect, and it's like, no, it's just the two guitars slightly out of tune from each other, so they create this natural
Dissonance.
flange."
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, it's amazing. They just left this stuff in. You hear, when you hear George sing "Here Comes the Sun," he'll just, and just the little like inhales and breaths that he takes in between. You hear him kind of run out of breath when it's just by its, but when you have everything around it, it just, all that other stuff just kind of falls away.
It fades away.
And
yeah.
it's just part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in this, I remember the last time I went in the studio, the engine, I called a rim as opposed to a snare hit, and you could hear it clearly. You go, "Oh, don't worry, I'll fix that." Point, click, drag, done.
Yeah.
Nice.
I used to be one of those. In some of my older bands, I was definitely a little more concerned about everything being perfect, but I kind of grew out of that mindset recently. I feel like it's okay to sound human, because you are, and I think it's better to know that a human played that.
I think that's the problem with music today, is that it's not. It's sterile. It's clean. It's perfect.
Right.
So, if you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio. If you want to call us like Neo did at 609-241-7103, please do so. In another 30 seconds or so, we will have the Deuce Music Minute. Yes.
Was it Dicey Riley Band? With Tommy Johnson? Tommy Johnson?
No.
That wasn't it. Well, I can't find it.
It was an Irish name.
Dicey Riley isn't Irish.
Not Nabadoc. Oh my gosh, that's going to drive me. I had forgotten about it. That was going to drive me crazy. I'm sorry.
Dicey Riley's a traditional Irish music band.
No.
With Tommy Johnson.
Call Helen O'Shea. She'll know.
She'll know.
All right. If you're tuning in, we are here with Brian and Pete from the Extensions, and they've got a brand new EP coming out next Friday, September the 20th. Yep. So they will be at Asbury Lanes. What time's that show start?
I don't know.
7?
8?
When you get there,
8. It starts when you, the listener,
arrive.
I could
That's
find out, actually. I'm gonna find
Okay.
out right now.
All right. Well, is there a ticket price? A ticket cost?
Yeah. Just hit us on Instagram at the Extensions Band.
How about Facebook?
Also at the
same thing at
Extensions
the
Band.
Extensions Band. And it looks like 8:00 because we have events up there and stuff. If you go to either the Facebook or the Instagram, we have direct links where you could buy tickets, or you could just shoot us a message and get tickets from us directly. We will happily facilitate that for you.
I'll also post it in the event.
Okay. Great. All right. Well, that brings us up to the Deuce Music Minute, brought to you by Deuce Music Management, right here on Rock On Radio. Every Sunday night, we take a band and sent to us by Deuce Music. He sends me a plethora. Would you say I have a plethora?
No.
No. Well, he does. He sends me a plethora of bands, and he sends me several each week and says, "You know what? Have at it, Danny. Pick whoever you would like to feature this week." So this week is they are a rock and soul band from that are based out of San Diego. They are called the Innocent Bystanders. Now, they have been accused or described as having a 90s ska sound that's been churned with vintage Alfa Romeos and semi-dangerous behavior. Go figure. And they have a new single out that is called No Place to Go, these guys. But in the past, they have opened for the Rolling Stones in their own particular way. I don't remember what that means. They have a
How else do
they
you
had a
open?
debut EP called "Attractive Nuisance" that they released last year, and they're in the process of completing their second record. Uh, this new single, "No Place to Go," can be found by going to their website or where you can find their Reverb Nation page. I think it is. Is it Reverb Nation? No, Bandcamp. You can find
Yep.
there. All the links to their stuff is there. You can go to theinnocentbystanders.com. But right now, on the Deuce Music Minute, this is "No Place to Go" by the Innocent Bystanders here on Rock On Radio.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Went to a house in December, moving the floor of snow. Here I am 6 months later, I got no place to go. That much left to get easy, it is that I know. Packed up my belongings, I turned away from store. There's a picture frame with a face turned down, feelings you don't want to know. But no matter where I lay my head, got no place to go. Not as like the others, spend a lot of time alone. A half empty glass on the table, I got no place to go. Walk through the heat of the summer, nothing comes so slow. The sun just burns my shoulders, my chest just feels so cold. There's a picture frame with a face turned down, moving on the road. But no matter where I lay my head, I got no place to go. In the early morning sun, I felt the sweep of your hair. The little things I remember, things that aren't there. Sing that song for hours, that's too young, I know. Each day grows short, I got no place to go. So the moral of this story, man may never know. Longing for a memory just won't let me go. There's a picture frame with a face turned out, and feelings you don't want to know. But no matter where I lay my head, I got no place to go. Got no place, I got no place, I got no place to go. I got no place, I got no place, I got no place to go. I got no place, I got no place, I got no place to go. I got no place, I got no place, I got no place to go.
There we go. The Innocent Bystanders out of San Diego, California.
That was a nice song, right?
Brought to you by Deuce Music Management. Yes, it was. I liked it.
Good.
Do you approve there,
I do.
producer?
Got no place to go.
Is that Dave Matthews? Or-
Huh? That was
Who was
that,
that?
that was that song.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. This is Dave
I was listening, but I wasn't listening.
You're working.
There's some Dave Matthews.
There you go. Okay. Excellent. While that song was playing, you were saying I had this past Sunday I had Rock to Adopt. They come in every year. They have a big pet adoption thing at the Popcorn Park Zoo in Lacey Township, and this is the 8th year that it's going on. And they raise money for the Popcorn Park Zoo, and people adopt dogs and cats, and so on and so forth. Anyway,
Dogs and cats living together.
yeah,
Mass hysteria.
one of the greatest lines from that movie.
Oh, goodness.
You can't leave me; the plants will die. But
Name the movie and win a
And
free
win
copy
something.
of our EP.
There you go.
Ooh.
We'll do that, and
Yeah.
I'll throw some Rock on Radio stuff in. Name the movie that those two lines are from. 609-241-7103.
With or without Googling it?
With
Preferably without.
Uh,
Preferably without.
But anyway, so she last year, now this year she didn't do it because I gave her a ration of grief. But last year she has the two lineups, one Saturday, one Sunday, 10 bands each day. Right? So she's got 20 bands involved in this thing. Wow. And somewhere around like 3:00 in the afternoon, and it starts at band start at 11 a.m. It's at 3:00 in the afternoon, the headliner went on.
That sounds about right.
So I looked at her and I'm like, yeah, but there was also 4, 5, and 6 o'clock after the headliner. It's like, you don't put the headliner on in the middle of the day. What are you doing?
Well, it's strange because, like, locally, the headliner goes in the middle. That's how it works. Like on a local show, the headliner goes in the middle.
Why would you do that?
Well, because everybody.
Because they go to bed.
So if you've got a show,
True
you're putting a band on. If you've got a show that starts at 9 and ends at midnight, you got a 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock band. The headliner goes at 10 because by that point, everybody. I guess the logic is everyone from the first band hasn't left yet, and probably the third band's people are all there. So you get the fullest room.
Mm.
The opening band has people kind of shuffling in, so you miss the first couple songs. The closing band, while well-intentioned and, maybe by classic definition, the headliner has people leave early because,
They're done.
Yeah. So, like, locally, you go in the middle. The middle is the best spot.
If there was one concert you wanted to see, okay,
Mm-hmm.
at a bucket list affair, who would it be?
Probably the Who in like 1972.
Okay, so the Who in 1972,
It's different though.
and they have an opening act, which they wouldn't have. But let's say they do.
But they'd have an opening.
Okay.
You don't think the Who would have like?
No, at that time, maybe in
72?
72, maybe
So
in
you don't think the
72.
Who would have had like I don't know, like the Dave Clark 5 opening?
Maybe.
for- like,
Who knows?
but that's like a random enough because that's what the Monkees opened for Hendrix,
Yeah. that's
or
true.
rather Hendrix opened for the Monkees.
Yes,
Right.
I
he
should
did.
say.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
So yeah, you get that, So yeah, you wouldn't have like Peter and Gordon opening up for the Who.
Okay, well let's say they do have an opener.
Okay.
Okay, let's say Peter and Gordon are opening for the Who. All right,
It's random.
you would stay.
Fine.
You would stay to
I'd
see the
say-
Who.
I'd see Peter and Gordon. No, I'd see Dave Clark 5.
I mean, people go to these huge festivals, and the headliner is the last band on, and they stay all day to see the headliner.
Yeah, that's true.
But
But you know what? When it's your friend's band,
Mhm.
when you come, okay, so you come and you're there at Asbury Lanes to see us. I have no idea when we're going. By
I
the
was
way,
going to ask you.
yeah, KL, answer my text, brother. We got to really get on that, man. So you come see us. Say we go on like 3rd, right? So say we go on at like 10, and then whoever's after us and whoever's after them, you're like, hey, it's kind of close to midnight. I want to go home, and I can see them at this place for like $5 in 2 weeks. So I'm not going to worry that much of it. Even back in '72, seeing the Who, for $10, in 1972 dollars was a lot, was kind of the equivalent of a regular concert price now.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, but the Who is kind of a main headliner. So you pay, you see them. But if this is the Who in like 1962, when,
When they were mods.
when they were, and long before they were famous, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is my buddy Pete's band, Townsend.
If only.
Yeah, right. But then it's like it's not that big of a deal because they're on with like a bunch of other bands, just like every other local. It's like, oh yeah, it's the Who and the Mercy Beats and the Dave Clark Five and whoever else.
But there's a reason it's called
Rory
the
Storm
opening
and the
act.
Hurricanes.
The opening act. Of course, back in those days, there was only 2 acts. There were no, unless it was a festival, like a folk festival or Woodstock. There were no. There was an opening act and there was a headliner, and that was that. Now they have openers, now they have a headliner, now they have closers. They do that stuff at the Pony. The headliner's out on the summer stage, and there's the closing act is inside. Everybody's walking by as they go out the door.
Yeah, but
Nobody's
that's a
watching.
local. Like, so
Well, that's
they'll
what I'm
have-
saying.
So they'll have like fake, our buddies, Fake Pockets be the openers inside, and then Ben Folds will play outside, and then when everybody's leaving, like We're Ghosts now closes it out inside again.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a big disparity.
Correct.
Ben Folds isn't going to have 2 openers on the main stage. Like it'll be, you just kind of get the locals. Yeah, you kind of throw them a bone, I guess. I don't think a big band now, I don't know, like, I don't think like Cage the Elephant would have a closer per se if you were to go see them. I'm not a huge fan. I'm just trying to think of a band.
Unless
Or
it
like
was
the ni-
Vampire Weekend. Didn't they play together?
Beck. They play this shit, but that was like a or like the 1975 or something, or Arcade Fire. Like they wouldn't have a closer.
Right.
But
It would just be.
well, you were talking about it while the record was playing. Now, you guys at your CD release party, but you're kind of like stuck in the middle of the pack.
We think.
we think we have no idea, or we might.
Just
I
on the
bet you.
list.
I bet you $1 billion we're going last.
Now, won't your people stick around for that? It's a Friday night.
I'll bet
Asbury
you.
Park.
I'll bet you we're going last. I have
hope they
no
would.
idea, but I'll bet you we're either first or last.
As long as
Extension
it's not
fans, stick
first.
around.
I guarantee.
As long as it's not first.
guarantee you it's first or last. I guarantee it.
Or somewhere in between.
Watch us be first or
I
last.
think third is fair.
Do you want to do?
Third would be awesome.
You want
Third
to do
would
some
be
more
great.
music?
Yeah,
Actually,
sure.
what do you want? What would
Do you
you
want
like
to hear?
to
Do
do?
you want to hear a song we did? You mentioned our buddy Jeff Fiedler.
Okay.
Earlier. You want to hear a song we wrote together?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Cool.
It's Across Your Shoulder. It's track 5.
Track 5.
That was one that we had.
Now, how do you know Jeff? Let alone well enough to write a song.
We went to college together.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You did
so
the
we've
radio
known
thing.
Each other, yes, we've known
Yeah,
each other
that's
for
right.
15
Okay.
years.
And the albums.
Yeah, he was
Race
the
all that.
writer for
Mhm.
our website. Jeff basically was our entire
Reviewer.
about 90% of our web content was Jeff. But yeah, we kind of found we had a nice, easy chemistry. We wrote this song 4 years ago, and it never quite. I think Pete, you heard the original, like the demo we did,
Yeah.
and it's a lot different.
It doesn't sound anything like it used to. We changed it a lot.
But yeah, but we kind of still, like I showed you the song. I said, oh yeah, I think this might actually work for us. So yeah, the song is kind of old or older, in that it wasn't written specifically for this project, but it seemed to fit in pretty well with the rest of them.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Well, the extensions, Brian and Pete, the extension of the extensions. The other two are not here.
Yeah, Lisa and Kevin.
Kevin and Lisa are not here, but Brian and Pete are here, and they have their CD release party September 20th at Asbury Lanes, 609-241-7103 if you want to give us a call. But right now, we're going to hear another song off that upcoming EP, which is called what, Pete?
Bellicose.
Bellicose. You gotta say it like James Bond, I guess. And this is a tune called
Across Your Shoulder.
There You Go, here on Rock On Radio.
Sunset already began. There was the plan coming around on four corners. I'm so afraid to step inside. Fire across your shoulder, shining in the dark, singing on Mary's heart, putting it out on the table. Never afraid to criticize. Although 10 years later, better I'm late than never not. I'm meditating on this. There's easy left to find. Only one can change our minds. We need to solve this time. Many friends pass me away, small little tales. Consider this rest their her song. You be me and I'll be you. Caught up in a role reversal. We were friends who pretend that it really ends. You already put on notice. What do you see from the outside? Doesn't leave you hopeless. Better late than never die. Can't help hesitating, but I guess let me rest your mind. Always want to change your mind. Baby, you so much time. Better I'm waiting than never done. Get up meditating, but I guess there's reason left to run. Always want to change your mind. Maybe you saw this time.
There we go. The extensions right here on Rock On Radio. So, websites and stuff again.
So we are at The Extensions Band on Facebook and Instagram. That's kind of the main ones. We have a Twitter, but we don't really use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No tweeting.
No tweeting.
No
Tweeting for
tweeting
you?
for us.
Gotcha. All right. So,
What was that?
That's
So-
me. Sorry.
So-
That's the only tweets I do.
no, Brian, you're the principal songwriter, pretty much, or you come with the ideas
You are the
and,
song. Yeah,
and
you
they
are.
dissect them, or
Yeah, sure. I mean, we kind of credit everybody, so it's that's the process, and I think that I think kind of doing it that way is, that doesn't really. I think it's important to not elevate one over anybody else. I think it's important to get everybody, kind of keep everyone on the same page.
Yeah. A lot of times Brian will bring like half or 2/3 of a song to practice, and then we'll kind of
Or in this case, 3/3.
except for that last one.
song, 3/3 of a song.
3/3 of the 4.
And then like we'll do our own parts to it, and then
But I mean, regardless, we, on the back office and the financial end, regardless of whether it's 1/3 or 3/3 of a song, that gets brought when we cash those massive checks. Each of the four of us gets an equal amount.
And there you go.
That's how it works. That's
Not a
how
bad
REM.
deal.
That's how REM stayed in business for so long.
See?
Sorry, Pete. You were saying something actually useful.
For once.
So please finish that thought before I keep derailing us.
Yeah, I mean, Brian will write the majority of the song, but then we do kind of take it into the practice room and kick around some ideas and kind of finish it together. So I guess we are technically co-writers, but the verses, choruses, and bridges are all written by Brian, and then sometimes we'll kind of like piece it together.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's like arrangement. Like we
Arrangement.
arrange it together.
Yeah, I mean, like in Kevin and I and Lisa all write our own parts
Yeah.
to what you've written, so
Yeah.
kind of writers in a way.
I'm not gonna argue.
So,
I think that's
Ooh. We have a phone
Oh.
call.
all right. Hello. Welcome to Rock On Radio. Who is this?
Hi, this is Amanda.
Hello, Amanda. How are you?
Good. How are you, Brian?
good. How are you?
What's
going on?
Bluetooth Danny.
Well, are you watching on YouTube or are you listening on the radio link?
No, I just saw your Facebook status to harass you and Pete. So here I am, your favorite pregnant person.
Oh.
Yes, you. I guess you would be technically, because I'm not sure I know anybody else that's pregnant at the moment.
Named Amanda.
Or
Especially-
anybody. I mean, anybody named Amanda, nor anybody else at the moment that's pregnant.
Wow.
So yeah, I suppose you would be my favorite pregnant person. So
So, favorite pregnant person of Brian, do you have anything, a question or a comment for these guys? What made you
She-
call Rock On
she-
Radio? this
She's
evening?
like, no.
I just saw it to harass, so I was like, all right, well, there's my job. So
I
here
made
I am.
I made a post saying that I posted the phone number and I said harass Pete and myself.
Oh, there you go.
Until
Ah.
about 9 tonight.
Yep.
So Amanda though was is a great albums listener. That's how we got to know each other.
Oh, the
So
Great
that's-
Albums podcast. Very cool. Where
Yes.
where
So,
are you
yeah.
from, Amanda?
I'm sorry?
Where are you from?
I am from Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Okay, so you're in South Jersey.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes. I am all the way down here, but I fully support the extensions and Brian and Pete. They're my favorite people. So I just thought I get to say hello and just show support.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. And Amanda has not, it's not, Amanda was doing some promotion at a pretty cool venue down in South Jersey for a while called the
Yeah.
Union Firehouse.
Oh, in
so
Mount
it's
Holly.
not, it's
Yeah.
not just, I mean, we appreciate all types of support, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Amanda, you really kind of went above and beyond just the normal levels of support. Because you were like, yeah, play a show that's not an hour from me. And so we did it a
Twice.
bunch, and now they won't answer my emails. I've emailed
Are
them.
you kidding?
I've
I'm
emailed them.
sorry.
I've emailed them 5 separate times.
Where the Union?
Yeah, and I hit them on Instagram. I was like, "Hey guys, what do you have to do to book a show?" And they were like, "Just email us." And I was like, "Okay." 30 seconds later, I'm like, "Just emailed you again." Nothing.
Nothing. Crickets.
Yep, crickets. So I guess they don't like us. I guess they don't like our particular brand of rock and roll.
Right. See, Amanda.
Only you, Amanda. Only you could
Get 'em in
could
there.
Get us into the veritable Madison Square that is the Union
the Union
Firehouse.
Firehouse. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
They're booked with music almost 7 nights a week down there.
Yeah,
So
Wow.
good for them.
yeah.
See, I know that, Amanda, because I'm from Bordentown. That's where I reside.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not that far from the record collector.
Oh, okay. Yep, I know exactly where that.
Exactly. So here's what I want you to do, Amanda.
Sure.
I want you to visit my website, dcror.com.
You're not going to get anything by doing this.
Yes, she
just
is.
so-
Yes, she is. It's
other than like a positive web browsing experience.
Well, no.
No.
She's going to get something.
Okay.
dcror.com. Okay.
hmm
And email me your address and I will send you some Rock on Radio tchotchkes just for tuning in and harassing Brian.
I can definitely do that.
There you go.
We
See?
have stickers we recently
Oh,
made.
Oh,
We'll
there
throw-
you go.
throw a couple of those
Some
in.
extension stickers,
Yeah.
fresh from Brian's rear end.
Back pocket, nice and warm.
When they say you pull it out of your, well, Brian just did.
Just did. That's good. That's good
He
TV.
also promised me a kitten at a show once, and I'm still waiting for the cat. So
Well, I learned my cat is fixed, so I can't really like.
But
I
Rock to
can't
Adopt.
Really, I can't really just spring a kitten out of nowhere. But
Rock
Danny
to
could help
Adopt.
you.
I can provide you with a kitten.
See that? You're welcome.
Not
You're-
through the mail.
Rock to Adopt at the Popcorn Park Zoo this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's like 20.
I love that place. That place is adorable.
It's $20 to get in. You get
Best.
20 bands, 10 each day. You can go back both days, so it's $10 a day, $20 whether you go once or both times, and you get free admission to the zoo. And it's Pet Adoption Day. You can adopt a dog or a pet for like 25, or a dog or a cat for like $25.
Oh, don't tell me that because I will literally come in and buy a dog, and my fiance will kill me.
How is Josh, by the way? How is
All
Josh, by the way? Is he all right?
Josh is good. Josh is so stoked for the baby to come. Today we were in Target. Actually, we just got home a little bit ago because I wanted
Oh.
Cold Stone. So
Did he
Cold
get
Stone
new?
led to Target.
Did he get a new pop figure when he was at Target?
No, he's done with pop figures. Now he's collecting baby items.
Okay, because
So
you know
we
what I
found
found?
a
I
book.
found a Jefferson's pop figure set.
Nice.
Wow. They have now.
Nice. We actually found a book in Target, and it's based upon like teaching your kids about rock music. So it has like Chuck Berry, it has Nirvana and Pearl Jam in it. So naturally, I was doing a thumbs down for the Pearl Jam, but it's fine. It had no white stripes in it. It was really cool. It was like a little cardboard kids book, and I was like, I really, really hope somebody brings this to my shower because my mom's doing like the bring the book thing.
Oh yeah.
But we've already kind of decided that like this kid's getting like a crash course in
Rock and
music
roll.
and
There you go. Atta girl.
You know what's gonna be great? He's gonna turn out to like hate music, but be like a mathematical genius. That's
Right?
how it goes. That's
That
how
that
it
would be my
goes.
luck.
You have
Yeah.
a beautiful mind. Well, look at it this way. You won't have to help him with his homework.
That's true.
He'll be a genius.
Exactly. I'll be like, you have this new math multiplication thing down pat. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll be down. I'll be downstairs listening to Stone Roses.
There you go.
You go ahead.
Yeah.
All right,
listen,
Amanda.
I just wanted to call and say hello. Have fun, guys, and thanks for being awesome, all of you.
Oh, great.
Thanks,
Don't
Amanda.
forget,
You're awesome.
DCROR.com. DCROR.com. Send me your address because I'm getting ready to send a whole bunch of stuff out this weekend. So
All
I'll
right,
send you
cool.
something.
All right.
All right?
All right. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Take care, guys.
Rock
Good job.
on. There you go.
Bye.
Another happy extensions fan.
But like little onesies. Rock on Radio
that'd be
onesies.
perfect.
To give to Amanda?
Yeah,
It's
for
the only-
anybody.
you just heard
Little
Brian.
baby peanuts.
It's the only pregnant person that
He knows
listens to
who
this
you-
show.
You don't know
Yeah.
anybody else? So little people? That would be
The
Philly
little
cute.
people growing inside of them.
No, you get little onesies. Little Rock on Radio onesies.
What? It's what? That's. I mean, that's what happened. That's what's happening. So I do have to, before we move on, I want to mention to Chris Fox of our fellow label mates, Ruby Bones. I'm sorry that I can't make your Asbury Hotel show that's going on exactly right this moment. Because he calls me out and he goes, yeah, if Brian manifests himself at the show tonight, I will buy a ticket from him. And granted, we could really use all the ticket sales we could get, but I'm not going to make it to Asbury Park before it's time for him to leave. So it's just not happening.
Whoa.
So I'm going to have to take the L on that one, I suppose.
Seems that way.
Yeah,
Well,
sorry, Chris.
Send somebody else.
Yeah.
Quick.
But that's
Run
not
over.
me. That's
My
he asked if I could manifest, and I can't.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in, this is Rock on Radio 609-241-7103. Let's do some more music.
Sure.
What else you want?
I would
Yeah, what do you think? There,
I think we should
Mr.
play
Pedro?
my favorite song.
I thought that was the other one we played.
But we don't. But we didn't do a Death Cab cover on this EP.
On this one. No, my favorite song on this EP is Envy Smile, and I think that's a good one. I think we should play that one.
Envy Smile. Is there a meaning to that? Or why is it your favorite tune?
I mean, it's just a jam. I mean, it's a ton of fun to play. I don't know. That was another one where Brian sent this whole batch of iPhone recordings when we first started, and I think maybe that was the second one that I was like, we have to do this song. This one has to be a song of ours, because even the acoustic demo, I couldn't stop listening to it. And whenever that happens, you know, when you like flesh it out, it's going to be something really cool. So, and I love it. I don't know. I just do.
Okay, there you go. Pete of the Extensions and their new EP, which is called Bellicose. And
Is that
With
what
all
it's
those
called?
extra letters at the end.
Wow.
like Sir
Yeah.
Hiss. Bellicose. That's right. CD release party Friday night, September 20th, Asbury Lanes. They're going on either first, last, or somewhere in the middle. And they are the Extensions, and this is their song called Envy Smile.
Assert yourself. Go swimming in someone else's business. You take your step, you take your time, but I'm lonely, free of answers. I don't know about them. You hold my hand, go crashing in someone else's bedroom. Your baby eyes, my envy smile is uneasy. I'm backing up, I can't seem to say no. Now I'm trying to sleep, but you're leaving around. And I need to turn around, but you can't make a sound. So I stay up all night, don't know what I should do. So I start, you're waving out, and we're still stuck in this room. New strategy. Try everything before I'm really ready for it. With shaky hands and heavy heart, you're scattered. I'm still listening, and I don't know what to say. Now I'm trying to sleep, but you're moving around. When I need to talk, but you can't make a sound. So I stay up all night, don't know what I should
Where we go. Envy Smile by the Extensions right here on Rock On Radio.
World premiere.
World
there.
premiere
Woo,
now. That's
premiere,
right.
premiere.
World premiere.
Yeah, never. That has not yet been played anywhere.
Nice.
It has now.
That's
Yeah,
Here
Yes,
on
it is.
coaradio.com. And it'll be played on societybitesradio.com soon. Soonly. So, what is your favorite part of being on stage together? Now, Pete, I'm going to ask you because you're the guy in the back. You get to look out front. You get to see
Well, Pete gets to
everybody's
stare at my hind
everybody's rear end. Yes.
We honestly we have insanely good chemistry for a band that has not existed that long. Kevin, the bass player, and I lock in playing wise really quickly with each other, and it's cool to, especially when one of us is improvising, and the rest of the band just goes with it, and we're kind of all on the same wavelength.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I have no other real, I think the personalities all seem to, I think we all get along well with each other. And I think there's no need to explain, what certain band, like there's no quick, like crash course in, hey, can we sound like, what do you think about, not sound like this band or this band, but say, oh yeah, I like this song. I'm kind of going for that same feel. There's very rarely is there like a quick crash course in whatever the reference is. Most of the time, everybody just kind of knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, we're also really good at feeding off each other's energy. There have been a few shows that were really high energy, and you see one person just really feeling it, and then that pushes you a little further, and then we're all just
like the Wonder Bar show in July.
I was thinking of that one specifically.
Yeah,
that was a really high intensity show, and we just kept feeding off each other's energy and just kept ratcheting it up. Nothing had to be said. You just feel, that's just how we're on the same wavelength with each other.
They're always fun gigs.
They're fun
when you're on.
Yeah. We were definitely on, and then I was definitely full of blisters afterward on my hands, but it was 1,000% worth it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Not too bad. When had you guys ever played together before, or no?
Well,
we had played like shows, our respective other bands had played on the same nights together. But
there's the one.
Oh, that's right, the Paramore show.
We did I think it was a Halfway to Halloween cover show one year, where we did Paramore. And that was the first time Brian and I had played at the same time together, and that was that 2017, 16?
17 maybe, right? I think so.
Ain't
it fun? And I didn't sing though.
No.
I played guitar.
You did.
I played rhythm guitar, and then Nish played lead guitar.
Yeah, we did it with a couple of our friends, and it was a lot of fun. And that was the first time that playing in the same band at the same time was maybe this is a possibility.
Yeah, that was a really good show. We killed it. We really did.
You handle most of the lead vocals in this?
In this project? Yeah, I definitely did not sing Paramore. That's way, way beyond my range. And I don't think I have a super limited range, but that's a whole other ball of wax.
Yeah, well, I'm just asking.
No, but yeah, in this, yeah, I'm I guess by right now I'm all lead vocals. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like it's in the Paper Jets, we had shared lead between myself and Frank, except for the last record where we didn't. I just did them. But I mean, I'm never like, no, it's all me. It's just, I don't know, if it calls for someone different, then yeah, sure, let's do it. Brian Wilson didn't sing his first like lead on a Beach Boys record until like 4 years in. So, it's just, if it calls for a voice that's different than, Mike Love, then yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll be the Mike Love. I don't want to be the Mike Love.
Not now,
But
anyway.
no, I mean, like, so looking at you, Lisa. I heard though Lisa would sing. I think like she sang a cover or two in Dave's band. Like they would have her sing a tiny bit. So that could be something I see, like a direction I see going in, or at least like adding that voice in.
Harmony.
Because right now, like I just stack the harmonies myself on
Okay.
the record. So there's no like getting four people around a microphone. But we suspect Lisa can sing. I know Kevin can sing too. He just doesn't because he plays such intricate bass parts that he's just the vocal and the bass playing at the level that he plays just isn't
Doesn't jive.
doesn't jive. Pete, by the way, has a very silky baritone. If you
False.
ever let him,
It's absolutely false.
I actually don't know if you can sing or
I
not.
cannot, and that's why I don't.
I think you're probably lying like a tiny.
Why don't you let him rap? And he could just, I mean, do you remember how he said Bellicose to start this entire show?
Yeah,
You'd be like, Pete Bellicose.
I don't think that's how rapping works. Danny.
No, sorry.
No, and I
Maybe
don't
he'll
think,
listen
and I
to
don't,
you.
and I don't
Yeah.
think it's, and I don't think it be rapping. Also, neither, nor does it start with "My name is Pete and I'm here to say." That's also not how rap starts.
I am the top
Oh.
banana
Or,
in the
you know.
world today.
Yeah.
He's got your number. No
What?
rapping for you. No dancing.
No
for
rapping,
you.
no dancing.
Nope.
I just have to
No-
sit
Cut you
here
off.
and be white.
No,
That's
no,
what I have to do.
You do
no,
it very
no,
well.
no slam dancing.
No spikes.
Mosh
no
pitting.
spikes. Yeah,
Nothing.
whatever that
Yep.
book is called.
Correct. No slam dancing, no spikes, no. There's one more thing.
Something else.
I actually interviewed her too, Amy.
Yeah, did you?
Amy Wolfling. She did that. I played it. I actually played at Cedar Garden or City Gardens.
Yeah.
Cedar Gardens too, but City Gardens. Yeah.
I
When
keep
it
hearing
first
they,
opened.
I keep hearing they might bring that back.
I just
I
saw a
hear
thing.
there's like a restoration
for sale.
project in for that building.
Well, Randy's still in that. He's still around.
I
so-
know he is. I haven't gone to visit Randy in a long time because we, I got sort of caught in the wave. Randy's like wave of, the reason they call him Randy now is because like when he was booking it, he was a promoter. He was a postal worker
Yeah,
who would
by
then-
day.
and then and he would then go book at this place called City Gardens at night. But he was kind of such like a, like such a, can I say crap on there, right?
Well, you just did.
He's such a like a crap starter. I don't want to say I would say the other, but I don't know. Like it's but he was such like a crap starter that when somebody would get mad, they'd be like, "I need to talk to Randy now."
Yeah.
That's like how his last name is Ellis.
Correct.
But he started calling himself Randy now, and I got into nothing really that bad, but I kind of had a Randy now moment of my own. I think we all, if you know Randy long enough, you kind of affectionately have one or two of those
I've known Randy for
as it pertained to him trying to book a show for me once.
Oh my. I've known him for about 15 years, I guess. Back when he was still booking at the Record Collector, and then over at the New Hope Winery, and then at now the Man Cave. But some of the people who slept on his couch are just amazing.
Yeah, it's like Joey Ramone.
The
on that.
Ramones,
Yeah.
Green
yeah, no,
Day.
yeah, it's not like, he had like some random person who played in a band that eventually became this band. No, dude, like the Ramones, the Replacements, Green Day, Black Flag, like
Henry Rollins.
Husker Du. I
Yep.
mean, this is not like obscure, like true household names.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, like real
People you would know.
real people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
People with like gold and platinum records.
yeah.
The Clash too, right? Did he have a Clash there?
At City Gardens,
Yeah.
he may have. Yeah.
I think so.
He
They
was
played-
big
if
on
they-
the British
If
imports.
they
when they were
played
around.
Asbury, they definitely played City
Yeah.
because that was Trenton was like a destination
Yeah, because of City
back
Garden.
then, like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Hard
You
to-
never think of it now because like
no.
only thing that's really there is the Mill Hill.
Yeah.
And I mean, people like it. You know, I'm trying to get a show. I'm trying to put a punk show together at the Mill Hill. Not for us, just
No.
trying to help.
We did play there once though.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, what is it? Yeah, we played Alpha Rabbit.
I played upstairs at the Mill Hill.
Oh yeah, we did the Piano Lounge.
They used to have. There was a guy there named the guy that owned it was a fellow by the name of
Joe?
Joe LaPlaca. Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Joe was big into jazz.
Oh,
And the Mill Hill used to have jazz nights even before Joe came along, but he really doubled it and tripled it. And upstairs was that. And then he allowed somebody to open up the Mill Hill basement. So you had all these, people with like razor blades sticking out of their face downstairs. And then you had all these like, preppy, yuppie, beatniks, upstairs listening to jazz. But then what had happened was the jazz kind of started to tail off. So he would bring in cover bands once a week. He'd have jazz like 2 or 3 nights a week and a cover band, say, on a Saturday night or something. And I played there in a cover band one night.
oh, okay.
So that was my Mill Hill
Or
life.
on like a crooner.
Other than when I used to, whenever I get jury duty, I always went there for lunch.
Oh, okay, that's fair. I got sick there once. It was not good.
Mill Hill?
Oh yeah, it was bad. It was real bad. It was before a set. Yeah, it was real bad. It was like food poisoning.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And then bathrooms aren't the best either.
My face was on the floor of that men's room.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it was that bad. And what happened was that I was in the stall. Door was closed. Not getting super descriptive or anything like that. But a couple of people walk in, and I hear the door I hear it like latch shut, and I'm like, oh no. And I just hear a couple guys like they're in there, clearly doing a deal. And they were like, yeah, is anyone else in here? And they like rattle the stall door, and someone like hits it with their fist. They're like, yo, who's in there? And I couldn't. I tried to open my mouth and say something, and something else happened instead. And they were like, oh my God. And I just opened the door. I was like, don't worry, fellas, your secret's safe with me. And I like just walked right through them, unlatched the door, and close it back behind.
Although killing you at that moment may have.
That was my Mill Hill moment. That was my Mill Hill moment.
The Mill Hill moments.
I got up. Well, because it's like I feel it was like a dog. Like when in the summer, like they lay on the tile floor because it's nice and
Cool, yeah.
And I was literally cheek on the floor. Oh yeah, that was a 40-minute shower when I got home that night.
Oh, I'm surprised you didn't get disinfected,
Yeah.
deodorized.
Oh yeah, and it ran me through the car wash.
You want to do another tune before we have to wrap things up shortly?
Yeah, we did running or the other one. Walking back, Burke at Burke.
Let's do running after
Running
me.
after me.
Banocht. That was the name of Deirdre and her uncle's band. Banocht.
You're welcome.
It just hit
that.
that. Thank you very
Wow.
much.
It's in Banaka.
Not Banaka Blast, Banocht. There you go. I'm
So-
sorry, what were we doing?
We'll play "Running After Me," which was
Another song that was 3/3 written.
well, yeah, because you did the 24-hour songwriting
There's
challenge.
a couple of these are 3/3 written here, Pete. It's true. I'm giving, but again, vastly different than how we ended up doing it. So it was 3/3 written in that the verse and the chorus was all there, but it was a lot, much, much different than how it turned out on our record.
Yes.
I agree.
Well,
Pete
but
just says,
the
yeah.
original versions, the 2 older songs, we'll have those on the deluxe edition.
Oh, is there a
The
deluxe
10
edition?
The box set.
The deluxe edition that'll be coming out in, I guess, 2029, the 10th anniversary box set
Wow.
edition of Bellicose by the Extensions. I'll have the original version of this song on it.
Bellicose 10.
Yes. With the X.
Yeah, of course. It's got to be an X. Then it would look like Bella Cox. No.
All right, so we gonna play this song. Here I am worried about
What
saying
song
the
are
word
we
crap.
playing anyway?
This is called Running After Me.
Running After Me. The extensions right here on Rock On Radio.
You walking on and back again. Well, nothing to sell. You come running to me. You said you never should see. You take it back so you walk it on the line. The career, no business here. That's not perfect. That you wish you could do. Baby, swallow the best words. You wish you could you take it back
The extensions right here once again on Rock On Radio. Brian and Pete are with me in studio with the anticipation of their big CD release party next Friday, September the 20th at Asbury Lanes, which is located on 4th Avenue in Asbury Park,
Yep.
right behind the Asbury Hotel. So, where graciously enough, we had our 10th anniversary bash, thanks to Mr. Brian.
Woo.
Yep.
Brian Eric.
That was a good
Donating his evening.
That was a good show.
Yes, like I was telling
Well
you
and
before,
well deserved.
it far exceeded my expectations.
Good.
You know, you go through times where you really think there are times I got to come here on a Sunday, and I never once have I ever said, "Oh man, I don't want to go to my, I don't feel like to." Never once have I ever felt like that. But I have often felt, does it matter? Who's listening, who's not listening, somebody's listening.
Someone's listening. I'm calling you.
Hello, welcome to Rock On Radio. Who is this?
Hi, this is actually Teresa. I have a kind of interesting question for the band.
Whoa. Okay. All right, Teresa, first of all, where are you from?
Sayreville.
Where?
Sayreville, New Jersey.
Oh, Sayreville. Okay. All right.
Teresa.
There you go. Sayreville. All right. So
Oh,
go
you
right
know?
ahead,
Yeah.
Teresa. Ask is it for Pete, Brian, or both of them?
Kind of both of them.
Okay.
I know rumors have been kind of going around Asbury for a little bit that Brian's been involved in like a couple issues with some women in the scene, and I wanted to know if you guys thought that was going to affect your upcoming release show, and if you guys are planning to like make any statements about any of that business.
What's that? What was that question?
You womanizer, you.
What is that question, Teresa?
No, that just like with some of the rumors that have been going around about like you, Brian, and some of the women in the scene, if you guys are worried that that's going to affect your release show, or if you guys are planning to make any kind of official statement about some of that stuff. I'm just curious because I want to see like you guys do well in the future, and this is something potentially like I don't know if it's gonna wind up affecting your guys' like or EP release or anything like that.
Well, to that, I'll say, I guess, I don't know. I don't really like to engage in, what are very clearly a rumor, but I don't think it's going to affect us. It hasn't much had, much of an effect on us as a band in general. But, I guess to that, I'll say that
I wouldn't say anything.
Well, no. I think when people
do not incriminate thyself.
Well, no. I think when people will just say that, when people decide to kind of spread rumors to try to, elevate themselves, it generally doesn't work in their favor. And I wouldn't really encourage that or encourage people to be a part of that. And I've tried my best to, kind of stay above that as much as I can and not let it affect us in any way.
No.
And so I guess, Teresa, to answer your question, I'm really not that worried because I know who's telling the truth. And, honestly, to that, I think people know where they can find me. And if they have questions, I have been and will continue to be honest about it.
And there you go.
And I think you can, go ahead and ask a whole lot of people in the scene, what they think. But I'm also not afraid if you want to ask me either.
There you go. I'm going to stop you there because we got like less than a minute left to go. And I got to wrap things up. But
also, maybe keep that private next time. And, you find me personally, and we can talk about that. Okay.
There you go. Are you still there, Teresa?
Yeah, I'm still here. I thought
okay.
you guys actually went on until 10, not 9. I only just started listening maybe 10 minutes ago.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for.
Was that a satisfactory answer?
And all right, there you go. Thank you, Teresa. All right, I got to wrap it up here because we got like less than 30 seconds or so to go before we have to say goodbye and good night. September 20th, Asbury Lanes, located at I think it's 209 4th Avenue. You got it on our website, on the Facebook page. The Extensions and multiple other bands on the bill, but their CD release party for Bellicose. And I want to thank Brian and Pete for coming in.
Thank you for having us. And
hang out with us.
If Teresa wants to hit me privately, we got a ticket for the show for her.
There you go.
I'm serious.
Very nice. Again, the Extensions music on Facebook.
The Extensions band.
The Extensions band on
Facebook,
band.
Instagram. And that's it.
And that's it.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you guys for a special night, special music. Good luck with the party.
Thank you.
Good luck. I wanted to get to you, but with one more. But good luck with that. And until next time, rock on.